Welcome to the Waffle Juice and Fried Bologna Podcast,
where we talk about our lives, pop culture, things that's happening in the world, and really whatever we want to talk about because it is our family's podcast. And I am the mama in charge, Robin. This is my beautiful one and only the Izzy son.
Izzy son. Thank you.
This is the G.O.A.T. The only son I have. I got a daughter and a son. Girl, I'm blessed. You hear me? I had two, and I'm done. Okay. Anyway, what we talking about today?
Today we are talking.
I'm gonna just speed it up because we're not about to do no hour. Remember, you told me this.
You're right.
We're not doing no hour. We are talking. No, we not.
Okay. Oh, he's comfortable right now, so no shirt. It's nighttime. Let's do this. This is our last foundational episode, 03.
Mm-hmm.
So, firstly, before we, spit out these questions and just hurry up, let's talk about what happened on the news, right?
What happened? I mean, it was a lot.
Yeah,
Richard Simmons died today, which I know. And of course you would say who. Richard Simmons, he was like one of the first fitness influencers, celebrities. He's like legend in the fitness arena because he did like aerobics and everything and made VHS tapes and recorded himself work. Yes, VHS tapes. And and so he was just huge pillar of the community in a sense, in pop culture or whatever. Somebody else passed. I cannot remember who. Let me turn it off. But what else? What?
Okay, so Donald Trump.
Wait, did we ever say we was gonna talk about Donald Trump on this channel? Because for us to talk about Donald Trump on this channel, on this podcast, okay, we're going there though. But it is news. It is historical.
Yes.
We have,
posted. CNN posted, so it has to be historical or whatever.
Yeah, historical. Yeah. So we have officially all three of us, different generations, kinda. Nah, not really. Well, kinda.
Yes.
Yes. Have now lived through a positively assassination attempt on a president. That is wow.
So the last assassination attempt, please correct me if I'm wrong, on a president, wasn't that like John F. Kennedy? I only said Leon Kennedy.
Yes.
John F. Kennedy.
You trying to make him black? Good.
What? No.
Leon Kennedy. You trying to make...
No, it's like... No.
Yes. Yeah. The last one, from what I can remember, Kennedy was the last one.
Yes. So, thank God that this didn't, actually kill him. So... how do I move on from this? Oh, wait. No, before I move on.
I'm sorry.
When I got on Instagram after that mess, everyone was like clowning the shooter because he is now, he's dead now. Like, and wasn't he like in his 20s?
He was 20, yeah.
So,
but they won't say if he was black, white, Hispanic, Asian. They want like I'm very interested in the race. I am for sure.
In 2024, about to be 2025, I don't really care about the race thing. Like, oh yeah, we're black, white, Asian. Like, nah, like even if it was racially motivated, I still wouldn't care because it's like you still a killer.
I don't think it was racially motivated.
I'm not saying that. I'm just like,
but I do believe race is going to play a huge part in this because it always does.
I can't deny that.
If it's a black person that did it, a black 20-year-old, oh child, oh my sweet Jesus. If it was a white person, a white 22-year-old, I mean, there's just economics play a huge role in that. Race plays a huge role in that. Yeah.
But yeah.
But he is unfortunately dead. And I think they said 2 people from the rally, just innocent bystanders, also passed. And it's like some that's critically injured or something like that. So it's a lot.
And what it looked like it grazed.
Yeah. It looked like, yeah.
And you saw like the blood like on his face.
Yeah. Then the blood dripping down. So it was wild. It was wild. Like, I seen the alert on my phone, like, as soon as it happened.
Yeah,
who was
CNBC?
That? Yeah. It was either CNBC or ABC.
Yeah.
Houston. I was like, dang. But yeah, so it's craziness. The world is being the world, honey. The world is being the world. Are you ready to answer these questions? Because
we about to spit out these questions. This is the last episode. Not trying to make this an hour long, but in the future we are trying to like reach for hours and time and whatnot. But right now we're trying to spit out these questions. So yes, what's the next question?
All right, question is Kev on stage funny?
I definitely wrote that question.
Yes, you did.
Kev on stage is definitely freaking
How funny?
Hold on. Now, when you say how funny, then
how funny on a scale of 1 to 10?
See, when I see 1 to 10.
Oh my God.
Okay.
This is about to be 2 hours long. 10 out of 10.
For you?
I'm asking.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Not 10 out of 10.
Well, yeah, I give him 10 out of 10. I love
8 out
on
of
stage.
10.
The fact that he's clean and funny, like, that's hard to do. That is hard to do. If you can cuss and you can, like, oh my God, yes, like, that helps with the funny, the funny part of it. But he don't cuss. Now, he has some rude humor, and I kind of appreciate what some people would call rude humor, because mostly rude humor is usually like someone just being very honest, very transparent about stuff that people are really scared to talk about. So, but 10 out of 10 for me.
I'll give him an 8 out of 10 because he's very close to the 10 out of 10.
I'm so tickled right now. Yeah.
Okay, I'll give him an 8 out of 10 because, like, he's still learning and whatnot. So, like, he still reads his jokes, and the jokes are funny. So it's like, what's wrong with reading jokes? Like, there's nothing wrong with that, whatever. But, like, he's like, I feel like he still has more to come in a good way. Like, he's already amazing right now. He can be even better. So it's like, I'll give him an 8 out of 10. But he's, like, so funny. Like, every time I open up Instagram, I'm like, gut busting, laughing.
Yeah.
Who was that picture he done show where he was trying to copy the girl where she was like
to Angela Simmons.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And she had like
Oreos.
Oh yeah, Oreos and
laying down in the tub.
That was funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has an amazing brand, amazing humor, all that mess. So, yeah,
and I love the pictures of him and his wife and like the whole family that they just did like their renewal, their anniversary renewed the vows or whatever. So that was like really good. Okay. That was real fun. It was fun to watch. All right, so is conversating hard?
For me, yes. Okay,
why?
I get very nervous. I am very shy, very introverted. So when it's time for me to like speak and like open my mouth, it's like, what do I say? How do I not only start a conversation? I'm good at starting conversations. How do I carry the conversation? And I don't think it's even that. Do I care for the conversation? Like, is the conversation boring? But I'm trying to like just force myself to be like, but not just say yeah. I have to actually say like an actual response. Like, I can't just say oh my gosh, like no, I have to actually like have to talk, like give you actual,
like add some value to the conversation.
Yeah, like X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z, X, Y, Z, X, Y, and Z, X, Y. Like, bro, I'm just like like I'm trying to hurry this up, like a freaking job interview. But like, it's like it's kind of hard for me.
It's hard for me too.
But like, I feel like it's only harder for me because of my past experiences trying to talk to people and how that came about, which I did talk about on the last episode. So, you know, people can be real cruel, but like, let's say I meet a very nice person. Let's just say I just meet another almost me kind of, and they're just like, we just start talking. Don't know how, but we just managed to. And I would still have some trouble probably carrying that conversation because I would just feel a little awkward. I don't know how to put it. Like, not diagnosed, but I do feel like the best way I can describe it is anxiety when talking. I stutter a lot. Sometimes, like, just how my brain kind of works. So yeah, it can be hard, but I actually really love talking, especially when it's with someone that just gets me. Yeah. Not just my family, but my friends too. So when they just get me and I just get them and we just start talking, like, yes. But overall, it can be kind of hard, but you can overall overcome it. Your turn.
So 1,000,000%. For sure, conversating is hard. Especially, like you said, if it's something I'm not interested in, genuinely, it's hard. Sometimes if I don't know what they're talking about, but it falls under like my own personal special interest in a way, that I can get into it, right? So, like, I don't know much about dolphins, but like I love whales and stuff. Like, you laughing?
No, I just burped. I was trying to like be cute, but never mind.
So I love like, well, like, you know, I watched the whole documentary on whales.
Disney Plus.
Yeah. So if somebody started talking about dolphins, although I don't know much about it, I'm interested in like sea life sometimes, and you know, depending on what the species is, I would be interested. Like, you know, something about dolphins, like their nose and their brain and their eyes and like their behavior in the water, and just, you see, look at you.
Oh, what?
Is it funny? What? No, you see, I feel the way. I'm offended now.
Okay, I apologize. No. But the only reason I made that face is because I know you're trying to use an example, but I just knowing dolphins now, like, I know how they work. It's like, ugh. Shut up.
Okay, no. Tell me something about dolphins.
No, because I have to shut up.
What?
Dang it. This thing about to be 2 hours long.
I don't care. Tell me something about dolphins now.
Okay, so basically, I think I was like maybe in middle school when I finally learned the truth about dolphins and how they're evil and disgusting. And let me just tell you something. Dolphins versus sharks are the definition of pretty privilege, okay? And let me tell you something, because sharks, people crap on sharks so freaking much. I used to crap on sharks.
Of course, they have sharp teeth. Okay.
See, no, keep that. Oh, the microphone. Keep that same energy. Let me blow your mind real quick. Micro, whatever. Okay, whatever. Portrayed on media. Shark fin soup. Straight up, some countries, they just straight up just cut the, you know, shark's head off in the body. And they don't even cut the skin, or they just you know, hey, take this and leave. Go, get out the shop. Sharks, they're brutally, like, I don't know, they're just very badly killed, and like in the worst ways possible. People will try to like catch them or like pull them up too much to the surface, and like their organs pop out. Like, I've seen so much about just sharks, and people do the sharks.
Dolphins have pretty privilege, because I'm trying to help you.
All right,
conversation.
Yes, okay, move on. Thank you. No, thank you.
Thank you, because I'm proud of you. You're actually the one actually talking and expressing. Like,
well, that's shut down. Thank you for reminding me.
This is growth for you, but we did say we was going to stick within a certain time frame. So go ahead, girl. Spit it out.
Dolphins are more protected because there are pretty. Let me tell you something about dolphins. They are very, I don't know how much I can really say, like, be explicit, but they are very, just do some research. Like, the things they do in the sea and out the sea, is wild. Like when I learned about some facts about some dolphins, I can't, like, the way I'm being not very vague and vague at the same time, but just do your research. It's crazy. But with sharks, it's like, oh yeah, they're dangerous. They kill so many people. Sharks barely kill, I may be wrong, but like 500, 1,000 people a year.
I understand what you're saying. You're not saying like 5,000 or, yeah, you're trying to express the amount.
Like great white sharks, they get crapped on so bad. But it's like, how do I say this?
Okay.
Dolphins are just bad, and sharks are very nice and friendly and cute. Okay.
Dolphins are cute.
They are cute, too. But a pretty face.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. That's all pretty privilege. That's all I gotta say.
Okay.
Continue. I'm sorry for my facial expressions.
It's all good. Small talk is really hard. I'm really terrible at small talk. Like after we say, hey, how are you? You know, how did you fare during the hurricane? And then it's hard to go past that. Or if I see you out wherever I may or may not be, because, you know, whatever. I have a limited amount of places that I go right now. Like really like 2 or 3. So, but anyways, if I see you and I speak to you and then you want to talk for real after I've already said my initial hello and, oh, you look so good. Like I try to always compliment people because I love gassing people up. I love encouraging them and like complimenting people because it costs nothing to be kind. So after I get that out though, if you want to keep talking, and this is how I end up in the corner at church sometimes. Well, actually, most of the time, because when church ends, I go straight to find my little spot somewhere, and I just be in my little spot, you know, because it's not that I don't want to socialize or talk to people or converse with people. It's just, like you said, it's such a struggle to keep up with the conversation. Here's the kicker, unless I'm leading it.
You're leading it?
Yes, if I'm leading the conversation, because I know what I'm like comfortable with talking about, because I'm comfortable with talking about it because I know this. Like I'm only going to talk about stuff that I know, right?
So you're comfortable with starting the conversation.
I can start it. I can finish it. I
just a topic that you are interested in your knowledge about.
Yes, I am fine with leading the conversation because only I know what's in this brain. You know, and if you're my friend or something, then you can be like, oh, well, Robin doesn't talk much about this at all. But if I say this, I'll get her to respond, you know, because I have a very, very small social battery when it comes to small talk. And it's not that I don't want to be great at it. I've tried so many years. It's just at this point, I've accepted the fact that I suck at it. So. But, so yeah, I know I'm awkward. Just, you know, people just got to give me grace and just include. That's the other thing too. It's like we want to be included because we love being around people and we love like the energy of like laughing and talking and all that. Although we struggle with it, it doesn't mean leave us out. It doesn't mean don't invite us. It doesn't mean any of that. It really just means we really are trying our best. And when I do find the little opening for me to jump in and give my opinion or something, I'll do it, you know, or just laugh at something or whatever. I'll just find my little opening and go for it. But a lot of times it's just a struggle. And that's the difference with autism and someone who's antisocial or someone who has like social anxiety. It's like, it's completely different for us because it's not that we have social anxiety because we don't want to be around people. And it's not that we have like these small social batteries or whatever because we
love people and people love us.
We love
But it's y'all.
It's
not me. Okay.
But yeah.
There was a joke that you showed me on Instagram or Facebook. It was something about a lady. She was doing like stand up or something. And she was like, oh yeah, being neurodivergent is like being in the room with people who's like drunk or something. Or the other way around. And I was like, wow. I was really thinking about it. I was like, that's like pretty accurate.
Yeah.
So I don't know how she was like kind of like that.
Yeah, it was. She was funny too, though. It was real good. But
Next.
Okay, so daytime or nighttime?
Considering we're doing this podcast for the third time at, let me check my invisible watch, 11 p.m. about to be 12 a.m. Nighttime.
Nighttime. It's like we wake up at night.
We wake up at night. We sleep at night. We eat at night.
It's so crazy.
Like, we have fun.
Well,
have fun.
No. We don't always eat at night though. Because
yes, I eat at night.
Well, no, you don't. We don't always.
I love you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay,
you got my back.
Never mind. Okay, but yeah, it's like, and then these two right here, they be wanting to get up and play all of a sudden.
I can't explain it. It's just everything is better at night.
I can explain it. You're looking for that hit, that dopamine hit, and that's probably when all of our dopamine is like, oh wait, we need something to do, and I go in there, I mess with you, like, or I pick with you or something.
Yeah.
You go chase Joey. He can be chilling, like he's chilling now. He find out, and just out of the blue, you just be like, let me go mess with Joey real quick.
I want to mess with you.
Let me go put him in a chokehold real quick.
Like,
and then he returns and puts you in a chokehold, and then it's just a all out.
Like, I haven't played with him like all day. I haven't played with him all day. But the one moment I do like decide to play with him, like almost bedtime.
Okay, so what would you tell kids with autism about regarding having faith in God?
Ooh, I need my notes for this one.
Okay.
Yeah, could you?
I said continue to feed your faith and not your fear or your anxiety, and get around other believers who love and support you. What you think?
That's a 10 out of 10 question.
Okay.
I bet I had a good response. Probably more likely the same as hers. But what she said.
Okay.
Next.
When did you find out you had autism or on the spectrum?
Okay, me first. Okay, so maybe this can be a moment for me. Now, I have no clue when I was diagnosed. But I do know when my mom, when she told me in the car. So in that very moment, I knew I had it. So long story short, or short story long, I don't know. But I was in the car. She was driving me to school, Vista Academy. That's in Beaumont, Texas. She was driving me to school. I don't know how this came about, but she was just like, "Oh yeah, you have autism and dyslexia." I was like, I kind of knew the dyslexia part, like, oh, that makes sense why I like struggle with a lot of things. I'm in tutors 24/7, like every day. They're pulling me out of class and stuff. Like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But the autistic part, I was like, oh, okay. So literally my response was like, okay. And being a child, children are literally so innocent. But I remember vividly, I got out the car. And as soon as I found my class, I went in class and everyone started, coming and whatever. Literally the first thing I said to my friends was like, oh yeah, I have autism. And I think they were just as clueless as me. They were like, oh, okay. And they was like, yeah. So I thought autism was like a cool thing to have. I was like, oh yeah, autism. So I literally, the whole rest of the day, even I went to my teachers too, I was like gloating it around, like, yeah, my mom, she says I got autism. What your mama said you had? Like, what? Yeah, you weren't doing anything like me. Like, I really thought that mess was like, I was like the
points,
checkmate. Yeah, I literally flaunted that mess around the school. I had no clue like what it really was. I was like, okay, autism, awesome. That sounds cool. That sounds different. Which technically I wasn't too far. It was pretty cool and it was different. So yeah, let me just be quiet. You go.
No, are you done? Because
I don't know when I was exactly diagnosed, but I know when she told me. I was like around 11, 10, 9 years old.
We first knew. I first knew something was different when you were around like one or two, right?
So best always believe the mother before even the freaking doctor.
But yeah, because I went to the doctor and this is how the first doctor tested you. Doctor was like, "Oh, what's your name? What color is this?" I was just like, literally, he asked like maybe 4 or 5 really ridiculous questions, and he was like, "Oh no, she doesn't have autism." So I was like, okay. I was like, but something is definitely going on. And but I just kind of left it alone, and then fast forward to like first grade, you start struggling with your sight words, and I was like,
I remember that.
And I remember we used to put sight words on the floor, because the way that the apartment was built, like we could walk around in a circle.
Yeah, I remember.
And we used to put the words down, and then we started building on the words. So we would put a cat cried, or so we started putting sentences around in a circle. So. But it was like a part-time job, like helping you just with the sight words. So, and from there, I was like, this don't feel right. Like we working too hard. This don't feel right. And then that's when we got you tested for dyslexia. Then after that, we got the dyslexia part. So then I better understood, like, oh my God, this is what dyslexia is. I was like, girl, why my mama had me tested? But nevertheless,
sorry. Well, let me just say it and blurt it out. Another clue I think was me not knowing my birthday. I cried like crazy because I did not know my birthday. She like literally not just her. Other people would be like, "Oh yeah, like when were you born?" Or like I knew how old I was, of course. But like specifically, oh yeah, what year, what month, day, like I was like, I don't know, ask my mama. And it was a challenge for me though.
Do you know your birthday now?
March.
Don't you say it on
Well, now y'all have a clue.
No, you're gonna edit that part out. But you do know your birthday now.
Yes, I know my birthday.
She knows her birthday now. Okay. So memory for us is a challenge, and what our brains decide to keep and not keep, boy.
Let me
tell you, because this child knows every dog that exists. Knows every breed,
and the cat too.
But ask this girl.
Yeah, you go ahead, say it. Just go ahead.
She is terrible with like dates and like the concept of time.
I don't know. I have
the months of the year.
Yeah. So that coming.
You want to do the months of the year right now? You don't have to. You don't have to.
January. Okay.
You don't have to. but and I'm saying that.
But you see my struggle.
Our memory has been a challenge, and mine has been a challenge for sure since about 18, 19 years old. And I really struggled in college. College was like, I had so much fun. Like the social part, what autism? You know what I mean? What
you
social
express yourself.
What social awkwardness? Because it was college and everybody was about kind of like discovering who they were and like developing their identity, and so if you was weird and awkward, it didn't matter. It's just like there was a whole group of weird and awkward somewhere on campus that you can find, and then y'all just be family, and that's what it is. So, but yeah, that when I really started struggling with my memory even more was like it was it was right around my sophomore year, because I remember being in class, and it was one of the hardest classes that I had. But I started having like these, what we thought at the time were like what they call mini strokes, but there's an acronym for it, transient stroke, whatever. But so me and Mama thought, YD thought that that's what it was, like what's going on with my head or whatever. And then the doctors was like, no, she's too young for that. And it was like, well, this is what the symptoms are. This is what's happening. And it's happening constantly. And then they were like, well, let's get her tested for seizures. And then it was just like, personally, I was like, I ain't about to go do all that. Y'all not about to test me for that. I was like, nope. But that was the last little battery of tests that they wanted to do. I told YD I did not want to go through with it. I was like, I'm good. But that's really when my memory started taking even more of a toll. And so I'm not good with like a sense of direction and a sense of time too. Like not time as far as like knowing the months of the year or whatever, but a sense of like I can be very regimented, but I can also lose track of time very easily. So, but anyway, so yeah. So it wasn't until after she was diagnosed that I was like, okay, was this what was going on with me? And I was like told I was lazy, the black sheep, and I was just different, and oh, that's just Robin, and like all these labels and comments and like underhanded comments, really, because I was so different from my brother and my sister, especially my sister, because we were so close in age, and my sister was super smart, still is, and so that was kind of like the point of reference was my sister, you know, because she's 2 years older than me, and if Robin is not doing it because Shannon did it, what's going on? So, but there really was something other than just the age gap, you know, there was something going on in the background, and nobody knew. I was just like kind of labeled as lazy and whatever else. So, but fast forward, when she was diagnosed and I was going through the process with her, I was like, what? I was like, because the same exact thing that she struggles with, I struggled with. Everything, literally everything. So I was like, I'll be doggone, I got autism for real. And so then I went through like my little battery of tests or whatever. And then even like last year when I was in therapy or whatever, I was like, okay, wait, this would be a great time to figure out, do I for real? Like, and the doctor's like, ma'am, you are on the spectrum. I was like, okay, you're on the spectrum, okay. So, I mean, it just is what it is. Like, you know what? I should have did that. And I have a list in my email of everything I struggled with since I was a child, that I was like, okay, this is everything I went through and that I still experience. Just went blank. But anyways, I think I've been talking a while too. You ain't gonna stop me.
Really? I don't feel like it.
I feel like it.
Let's just spit them out.
Okay, so thoughts on the president's debate. Who are you voting for? We kind of passed the debate at this point. We're past the debate. They've already had the debate. The debate was just bad.
It was bad.
Trump was lying and Biden was barely hanging on.
By a thread.
By the hair of his chinny chin.
At this point.
We're just stuck between a rock and another rock. A rock and a hard place. But, yeah. So, 18, do you put your faith in humans or God?
God.
Yeah.
Oh, although we can trip up sometimes and put our faith in humans without even realizing it.
Yes.
But that is the human in us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do I put this? It just be random things. Like, it's like such a quick and easy, like, answer for most people who would probably respond with God. But it's like, if you really, like, look at your past decisions, it's like, I really, like, put my, like, trust and faith in that person then or even now, and I didn't even realize it. Mm-hmm. But that's all the human in us. Mm-hmm. Always put your faith in God. Interest in God. Anyways.
Yeah. What does the next 5 years look like to you?
The next 5 years look like me chilling in my 2-door, very cute rose pink Alfa Romeo while eating some raw sushi. Definitely be rich. I will be mentally, physically, emotionally, physiologically, all that goodness. I will be good. I will be all good. My relationship with God has grown even more and more, and I can just say this: when I get my $1 million, I'm definitely gonna sow that seed and help with whatever, just whatever, just I wanted to, when I get rich, like start driving a car and be on my merry way. I want to help people for real, just drive around. I see random construction workers. I want to pull up to them, ask them when they're gonna take a break or when their shift ends, and I can come back at that exact time, and I can just give them food and stuff, actual good food, not oh yeah, I'm gonna go to the store real quick, you need something. No, I'm gonna go down to the best restaurant, give y'all some nice whatever you like. I'm gonna ask you what you like. Oh yeah, I'm gonna come back, just let me know. Just workers who just work in the sun, they slave in the sun, gardeners, homeless, just people specifically like that. They're working their booty off in these conditions, and people who don't have a home. Okay, let me be quiet. That's I don't even know. I'll be very happy, very, 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 very happy. I'm happy now, but happier. Did you say anything?
Having everything God said me and my family can have, and being everything God said that I can be. That's it. All right, last question. Last. We made it. Okay, hurry up. Okay, so if you were given $1 million, what is the first thing you're doing with that money? And you already said that. You literally was in the questions already.
Dang. Oh, yes.
I said invest. I'm almost completely debt free, so I'd pay the rest of my debt off and buy a luxury certified pre-owned car, cash. Then drive it to my new dream home and take my kids on a vacation of a lifetime. You know what? Take my kids on a vacation. You see what Trap doing?
Oh yeah, Wall Street Trapper.
Yeah, we'll be in Italy, which Italy is my dream vacation though. We'll be in Italy doing it up, eating a lot of pasta. At that point, I've already lost my 80 pounds, and I want to jump off a yacht into water now that I have kind of learned how to swim. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
With my $1 million. So, but that's it. Let's go on the spectrum.
Go on the
Episode
spectrum.
03. In the books.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have finished this foundational episode. This is the last foundational episode.
Yeah.
So now we will continue and start the new series with us. And the first episode of the series will be about financial literacy.
Yes. Yeah.
Tune in.
Yeah. And it was really important that we did these first 3 like this, because we wanted you all to know we're not perfect. This is what our autism kind of shows up as. You know what I want to do real quick?
So what is, wait, hold on.
What?
Did you find it?
Yeah. That's what I was looking for.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to read this off. These are some of the things that I have struggled with since I was a child. So I'm sometimes more interested in observing people than having my own deep, meaningful experience with them. It's still terribly hard for me to express myself at times. I struggle every day with feeling frozen and not knowing how to respond, even with my kids. That's not as true anymore, especially after Prophetess Taryn was here. Still have to use a lot of visual schedules and reminders and alarms to keep up with everyday life. And I may still forget things here and there, even with the visual schedules, the alarms, the emails being scheduled to myself. Like, you know how far I go to, like...
Yeah.
My memory has always been a challenge, and I noticed it during college. Still struggle with time management, where I still have so much anxiety around it because I work so hard at remembering and setting reminders. Struggling and recognizing my own feelings all my life. I've always intellectualized first, then emotions came later. When my mom passed, my dad passed, literally every day. Situations too. Like, I struggled with that. It didn't matter what the situation was, how traumatic it was. I had to intellectualize it, and I'm still like that today. Even with what I went through last year, that's why I struggled with it last year so much. It was like my brain was like, wait, intellectually, this don't make no sense. This is not adding up. 2 + 2 does not equal 4 right now. I had a terrible time in secondary school. I was smart, but I learned differently. Finally, learned how I learned, which made me realize I could learn, and went on to do great things. Realized I was dyslexic in my 30s because I was around the time of having U tested and all that. I still don't read social cues very well, which is very true. Especially if you like me, like if it's a guy who likes me, you gotta be very upfront. Like, there's a guy recently, well, in the past few months, and he was just straight up, he was like, you wanna be my girlfriend? And it was just like, for me, it was like too soon. I was like, ooh. But I appreciated it because that's what I need. Like, any guy I've ever like really dated, like seriously taken, like giving them some kind of real estate in my head or in my heart, like, you have to be like very blunt with me. You gonna be my girlfriend? Like, you gotta be, very Rasputia. Struggle with hearing the words people say. I can hear volume, but struggle to know what words they're actually using. Handwriting has never been great. It's always been a hot mess. But on the opposite side, Joey, he overnight at 5 years old started writing out of nowhere and perfectly. And then he could spell it backwards perfectly. He could spell it the correct way in the right order perfectly. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, but he's recently been starting to write in another language too. Did you know that?
You didn't tell me that. I did not know that.
I'm sorry, but he has recently started watching Jessie, the Disney show, and he will watch like another version of it, and I think it was like a Russian version, and it was like 3 versions. It was a Russian version, it was an Arabic version. I may be really wrong, and the other version, I really don't know where.
Which one did he start writing in?
No, I don't know what language it was, but it was like. I don't know. It wasn't like.
Did you take a picture of
it? It should be saved in his iPad because he loves drawing in his iPad.
Dang.
It was, and the writing was perfect. It was, and
like,
how do I explain this? The writing was like, it wasn't like Spanish because if you technically think about like the words I'm saying right now, if it was like Spanish and you write it, it's like you mix up kind of the words in a way, but like. The language, the way you write the language is completely different. It looks different. It kind of like Japanese. Like you don't write it like, you don't use English freaking text or fonts. You use the Japanese font. So it was like that type of thing. So he was writing in that language, and it was like obviously like a name of someone, and he wrote the full name and last name perfectly, and it was so beautiful.
You're gonna have to screenshot that and put it on and post it.
It was amazing. His drawing is amazing. So the fact that we were struggling, like, and he's like already like, I just can't stand people that be like, oh yeah, autism stops you at doing this and this and this and this. Like, you only look at the bad stuff, but it's like he can still do so much. Like the fact that we had we didn't have no clue, but like we were very hopeful that something happened, and it did happen, and it was happening, and we barely even knew. Mind you, he barely went to school. I don't know how many months even Joey hasn't been to school. he's the best way to put it, he's basically self-taught. He literally took chalk and went in the garage, started freaking drawing and ABCs and math and freaking. We're like, whoa, when did this start happening?
Yeah.
Like, just out the blue.
His drawing in general is just
it's
like
beautiful.
mind-blowing.
Like I still draw chicken scratch, man. Yeah, chicken scratch me, the 18-year-old. Yeah, like
but there's a word for kids who can read early and write early. And I can never think of the word, but that's what Joey has. Joey falls into that another label. Whereas for mine is completely opposite. I always struggled with like handwriting. It's always YD used to say I write like a doctor. When I was a little kid, she said, "Oh, you write just like a doctor," because doctors normally scribble, and I have never been able to write like a average person. It's always like a scribble for me. But yeah. Anyways, and there's a word for this too, like struggling to hear the words people say. Like a lot of times I can hear the volume. Like I know that you're talking, but sometimes like the way my brain is hearing what you're saying, it almost sounds like you're mumbling sometimes when you're probably really not.
I still struggle with that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain, but basically what you said.
Yeah.
That's, oh my gosh. Thank you for writing this list out however you were, like, that's crazy. Okay, keep going. Experiences or something that I've said or others have said will loop in my brain, and I have to break the loop. It's very hard. Like that breaking the loop can take days, weeks, or months of just the same situation replaying itself. I hate it when my brain starts to loop because it is such a hard thing to interrupt. I've gotten a little better at it now. Because again, I've been just letting God work on me for real. I already talked about wet things. We talked about wet things. Like I think the last episode. I think. Never thought I needed the diagnosis at all. Never thought I needed an autism diagnosis, any of that, because again, I didn't even know anything like for real about autism until my daughter came, and once I started realizing, the diagnosis is not for me, really. It's not even like when she was diagnosed, the diagnosis really wasn't for her. It was really for how the world needs to understand autism, and eventually the diagnosis can be for you. Eventually you could be like, you know what? I know I'm not crazy. I know what's something going on in the background of this brain of mine. It also helps to explain like why certain things for me were advanced like they were. Like when I think I was in maybe 3rd or 4th grade. I can't remember. I think it was like 3rd or 4th grade. And I told you, like, that's when I opened my first store. Like, I took all the erasers and pencils and stuff like that from the kids because I learned that the teacher was about to leave. She was like, it was like her last week in, teaching us or whatever. And I was like, ooh, we got to do something big for the teacher. She's a sweet white woman. And so I was like, ooh, y'all, like, give me all the stuff, And so they was giving me, like, their crayons and their erasers and their pencils and pens and stuff like that. And I remember sitting on the floor. We were in this little corner, and I was just getting everybody's stuff. And then I started selling it to them. Like, I started get your hustle. I started selling the stuff to them. So if somebody had a really cute ruler, like, somebody else would buy it for, like, 25 cents. So, There's a word for that.
Being an entrepreneur.
Not just an entrepreneur, like it was like just reseller.
Yeah, a reseller, yeah. So but here's the thing though, the difference between those days back then and then days now. Because if a kid did that now, it'd be like, oh my God, you got a little entrepreneur in your hands, But I was this little black girl in Port Arthur, Texas.
Oh yeah, she's just playing.
And and it was nothing. As a matter of fact, the teacher was like, oh, she felt bad because she was like, I don't know who money belongs to who, because I gotta give the stuff back. And she didn't like, she let all the kids come and get all their stuff from her or whatever. Or try to like make it make sense, but she didn't give the money back because she was like, she didn't know whose dollar belonged to who, like how much did you give Robin to. But I was selling, and money was always, I was always entrepreneurial, but no one ever pointed that out when I was a little girl. You know, no one said, ooh, she may not be able to read that well, talk that well. She may be flunking all these grades or whatever. But your daughter's an entrepreneur. Did you know that? Like, nobody pointed it out. You know, I was always just a failure. I was slow. I was lazy. I was everything except an entrepreneur. And it wasn't until I actually got around people who were actual bona fide, I was interested in what they were doing, entrepreneurs. But I was like, ooh, entrepreneur. I think that's something that I like is in me, you know. But so it's just so different these days, because like the culture is pushing entrepreneurship. You know, when you're coming out your mama's womb, you gotta be a millionaire already. You know, so like it's kind of like the culture to push, you know, business ownership and financial literacy, and you know, go have your side hustle and, you know, all this other stuff. But not when I was a child. But neither did they talk about autism, and neither did they talk about dyslexia, and neither did they talk about all these other things. So, but other than that stuff, though, everything, or most of the things I experienced, even like humming, I used to hum when I would eat as a little girl. I still hum when I drive. I don't know if you've paid attention to that. I hum when I drive, especially if it's like a nervous situation, like, ooh, you know, it's little stuff like that. I'm like, okay, yeah, my little awkward self. But thing about it, it's never affected my self-confidence, though. I am confident when I'm right, and I am confident when I'm wrong. I am confident if I do something bad and I mess up, I can guarantee you it's gonna be one of the best mess ups in the whole wide world. Can't nobody beat my mess ups. But can't nobody beat when I do something good too, you know? So, but anyways, any other words for this last little video on who we are and introducing ourselves to the world?
Thank you to the people who may be watching. Thank you. Your views and just you watching. It helps a lot. Tune in for the official episode, which will be the next episode of Waffle Juice and Fried Bologna. Yeah. Do you want? The last thing we can talk about is like why we chose Waffle Juice Fried Bologna. Or, but I don't know if we choose that.
I don't want to talk about it. It should be one of those things where you have to see us in person, or see us on like we're being interviewed on someone's big podcast or something, and they were like, "Can you tell us the reason why Waffle Juice and Fried Bologna?" Like, you know what? I will share it with you, Oprah, because this is this is why we chose Waffle Juice and Fried Bologna. So stay tuned. I ain't just about to get at to y'all. Yeah. What's wrong with you?
My bad. Okay.
You got to come back.
Yeah.
I don't know. I keep doing that because I think of Papa. I be like, Papa be like, when he's singing.
This is my last time saying this, but Papa is our apostle from the church.
You ain't gotta explain that.
K-E, big K-E.
Not the big K-E. Big K-E.
B-K-E church.
Big K-E.
B-K-E church.
Yeah.
It's just K-E church. K-E church.
K-E Houston.
K-E Houston. K-E church.
H-Town.
H-Town. That's our apostle.
H-Town. How they do it? I don't.
Okay. All right. Well, this is an hour.
Well.
Anyways, okay.
Peace.
Yeah. Peace.
This could be the thumbnail.
I guess. The thumbnail? Okay.
Yes.
Well, wait.
Lean in this way.